I know this is a little bit a weird way to do this instead of a screen share. I just got the camera pointed at the thing. Too much time to get an app that will record my screen and let me be able to download it and put it on YouTube. So anyway, here you go. I just wanted to show you a little bit of my spreadsheet that I'm working with for seed starting and the garden. And I know it seems a little cumbersome, but I will explain it a little bit, what I did. Actually, in the left column here, pointing with my finger, I just have the varieties listed. And then next to that, I have the type because you'll see in a second. So like tomato, 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 etc. So the reason I did this is because I copied my zone's seed starting chart from the Farmer's Almanac, and the variety or the types of things on the left, I wanted those to match up with what was in my sheet so that I could do a lookup. So what I did over here is I ended up doing a VLOOKUP. So basically what you end up doing is you say, find this word, or whatever's from this column, in this column, and tell me what's in this column. So it's kind of a automatic way you can transfer things from one spreadsheet to another based on what's in the column. So I transferred the spring planting dates and the fall planting dates, though I'm not sure what I'll do with those yet. But to see for my zone, based on my last frost date, when's a good time to plant. Then I go back over here, and I got a couple of different things. I have like lots of information here, just because the more I have in here, the easier it will be to sort and see what I need to see. I can hide columns if I don't want to see all this stuff. I've got it frozen. Top one's frozen, left two are frozen, so I can scroll left and right and still see what I'm talking about, and I can go up and down and still see the headers. So I've got the grow length, and then based on my Farmer's Almanac starting date, I decided on when I think I'm going to put these guys in the ground, inside at least. I also have another column I added for like the actual day I end up putting them in, just because, that doesn't always go. And then the date, if they were going to be outside sown, direct sown ones. I had a few other, like Johnny's had their own chart. I threw that in there just to see. And then based on the grow length, so I took this date plus this number of days equals the expected harvest date when I would start looking at the garden and seeing if things are ready. Now, some of these are awful early, like, the end of May. That might not be very practical, but I'll probably also do this next column, which will be the same thing, but it's going to be based on the actual date, both the outdoor and the indoor. And then for the sake of having data, I also have a column for the actual harvest date, just to see how things match up for the future. Because that's what I do. I make spreadsheets. It's fun. I got other information in here for, I don't know what kind of data I might want, but whether or not it's going to go start inside or outside, some various uses for it, hybrid status, where I purchase the seeds, if I have some in my inventory, which garden bed they're going to go in, notes from the previous year, like, it takes a really long time or had a lot of bug damage, etc. So just, it does look like a lot. It's not super pretty, I'll give you that, but I feel like by being able to hide and show, I can filter and see like, I just want to see pumpkins. So I can just show pumpkins and see how that's working out. Just kind of one of those things to do. I like to write stuff on paper, but I feel like I can get so much more information in one place this way than I can just having it in my journal of course, I'm gonna go, once I have these dates figured out, I actually took these expected sowing dates and I transferred them to the calendar in my garden journal. So obviously I can bring my garden journal out to the garden and or into the other room to do my sewing, whatever. So this is how a nerd plans the garden, I guess.